Shemini Atzeret Sameach!
Sameach!
Digging into the Word.
Eric, first of all, I want to tell you, thank you for coming up. You're always so faithful, and you come up and provide such intimate knowledge of our Creator. We're just so thankful. And I know we haven't been doing any videos because our campfire chats and our daily activities have just been so much fun with you here. You know, it's just, we really appreciate you, Eric. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've changed my life in a lot of ways. Just the depth of the Word that you get into and applying that to my life, it's changed my life, and I got to thank you for that.
Thank you. Baruch haba Hashem Yahweh. You know what that means? Yeshua said, "You will not see me again until you say these words. Baruch haba Bashem Yahweh." It's translated, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." But our last video, we had a big white screen here. Let's head this way.
To the excavator.
Bet, Resh, Vav, Kaf. Again, you're reading Hebrew from right to left, so that's B-R-U-K. Baruch. Ha-ba. H-B-A. Haba. Bashem. B-S-H-M. Yod-Hey. Vav-Hey.
So instead of Baruch Atah Hashem Hashem,
the word Bashem or Hashem, we would pronounce that in English letters as Hashem, literally means the name. So this is in the name, but the letter Hey, the word the, isn't there. So when Yeshua said, "You won't see me again until you say these words," Baruch haba Bashem Yahweh. So, for the last 2,000 years, nobody has been saying this word. They either say Baruch haba Bashem Hashem, or they'll say Adonai, or they'll say God,
like Adonis,
Lord. Yeah, that's similar to the Greek Adonis. Or they'll say in the name of God, in the name of the Lord. But these four letters are very particular letters. The English equivalent is the Y, which is also the I and the J. This is the letter, our letter H, but it's also became the letter E. And this is the letter pronounced as either an O, a U, a V, or a W. And this letter is the same as that one, which is either the H or the E. And all this is where they come up with the Jehovah name.
yeah. But Nehemiah Gordon says that wrong. You got to put a Y in front of the. Don't use the J.
Yehovah.
No, get the J. Get that J out of there and just say Yehovah.
Yehovah. I write it as Y-H-U-H because this letter here in Hebrew is pronounced as a Yod, or the English letter Y. This letter here is pronounced as sounding like Ha, which is our letter H, inferred, the fifth letter, even though it's our eighth letter. And then this is the letter Vav. Some people spell it V-A-V or W-A-W. I spell it U-A-W.
To get the flow of the
to get the full effect of the Wa. And this is another Hey. So that's where you get U and then H. This is the 10th letter, the 5th letter, the 6th letter, and then the 5th letter again. And just for what it's worth, if you add all those numbers up, you get 10, 26. All right? All that equals 26. So some people say, well, 26 is a special number because it represents Yod He Vav He. I'm just showing you a little bit of digging into the words and letters. That's why we're standing in front of this excavator. That's what I'm doing here. But here's the interesting thing. If Yeshua said, "You will not see me again until you say, Baruch haba Bashem Yahweh," Hey, David,
Yes.
why don't you write on in here? Have you ever in your life heard anybody say those words before?
Not until I met you. That's the truth. Not
I
until
never
met
heard
you.
anybody say those words. The Jews, out of their great respect for this name, won't say this name. The Christians, out of great respect for Jesus, won't say this name. The JWs, Jehovah's Witnesses, won't say his name. Who is saying this phrase? Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh.
I'll say it.
Let's hear you.
Baruch
haba
haba b'shem Yahuwah.
Okay, now we qualify for getting to see him again. If he says, it's like, let me tell you a story. There was a guy on the radio, and he said when he was a little kid in summertime Bible camp, you know, they had a speaker up in front, and none of the kids were paying any attention, and blah, blah, talking. And the guy pulls a dollar bill out of his pocket, and he stands here and says, does anybody want this?
Sure.
A bunch of little kids said, yeah, sure, I do, yeah, you bet. Does anybody want this? And this one kid sitting in the very back, goofing around with his friends, all of a sudden caught his ear, and he goes, what? And he realized, what the? He comes out of his seat and bolts up the aisle and puts his foot on his knee, leaps up and pulls the dollar bill out of his hand.
He wanted it.
He wanted it.
You gotta want it.
Do you want to see Yeshua again? What does that mean? The word again is the word, one of the words for again, could be spelled as ayin vav dalet. And it means again and again, repeatedly, forcefully. The word ayin dalet is the word witness and testimony, and if you put a mem vav ayin dalet, you get the word for moed, which is actually these festivals,
The cycle.
the appointed times. And this word is, Yahweh says that he has given us decrees, ordinances, statutes, laws, and testimonies. Testimonies is ayin dalet vav tav. So we translate this word as testimony. It's also the word meaning witness. It also means a bunch of other things, which is another video. But they're the things that testify of his identity. Testify, and this says again and again, repeatedly and forcefully. I found this verse. It's mentioned this way a couple times in the Old Testament prophets. It says, Yahweh will once again choose Israel. This is the word, ayin vav dalet, translated once again. It's like, well, which time is that? He's going to once again choose Israel? Was that a long time ago? Is that yet to be in the future? And I looked up this word, and it says, again and again, repeatedly, forcefully, Yahweh will always choose Israel. It says Israel is his heritage. He wants his people back. He's not opening the door and taking that bulldozer and shoving them all into the fires of hell. That's not his desire. He wants his people to come back. Come back to what? When Yeshua said, you will not see me again, the word for see is resh aleph-hey, translated see. You will not see me would have a yod at the end. And when he says again, that would be ayin vav dalet. So you could say, well, if that's see, if you put a yod in front of this, yod resh aleph, it means the word to revere, honor, or fear. In other words, he's saying, you can't, I'm going to now give a different translation to what Yeshua said. You can't actually revere. And this word for see also means to be allowed to see or perceive or put on exhibition, to exhibit. You can't perceive my exhibition of myself with the applicable reverence unless you understand the testimony of my identity as I have expressed again and again, repeatedly and forcefully. And there's something about that the blessings arrive in the Shem of Yahweh. So if you change his name so you can't pronounce it, okay, you've lost his Shem. But there's another little layer of mystery here. The Shem of Yahweh, the word Shem, spelled Shin Mem, is actually name, fame, renown, where you get the word know, right? That word noun is where you get the word know. And reputation, it's all your concerns. What is all Yahweh's concerns? It's not just, is he concerned with how you spell his name? It's all his stuff. As we said in other videos, the place where he hid all his stuff is in the aleph-bet. So here we have, we'll have to do another thing about this. Aleph-bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zion, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Zadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tav.
Say that in one word.
These are just putting the consonants for each letter, the consonantal phonetic, with the default vowel ah sound after each one. Abagadahavazachati kalamanasachafatz karashta.
I just love to hear you do that.
Abagadahavazachati kalamanasachafatz karashta.
You got him started.
Yeah, he's going now. I told you, he gets in that second gear when he puts his paleo hat on.
I know.
So he's shifted gears now.
Ephraim's phylactery
That's right.
wrapped around your mind. The point is, for us to say how blessed, how favorable it is, the word bet resh as a word means pure and clean. And kaf is, as a suffix, means you or yours, or this is given to you. Pure and clean given to you, this blessing in the arrival, or it means to import. Import the exhibition of seeing the true Shem of Yod He Vav He. Well, what is that? It's understanding what the alphabetic letters mean. And just, we'll go through this somewhat briefly, but aleph is a prefix letter that can mean I am or I will. Therefore, if that's true, which you can see in the dictionary, numerous words that start with an aleph, when you write them in the